Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning and praise the Lord. Welcome back to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So happy and excited to have this wonderful opportunity to come to you today to lead you in a very special way. And today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. That grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is what you reveal on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. And I'm so glad that you are here with us on today as we lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief devotion. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are out there. I want you to know that we're holding space for everybody that may be grieving a father. Whether your father has passed away, whether your father has transitioned, whether you're grieving the absence of your father, whether you're grieving the father that you never had, whether you're whatever the case may be, this forum is designed for us to feel, to reveal, and to heal. So we are grateful for the opportunity to do just that on today. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 168. We're going to get this thing straight. We're going to talk about I'm not crazy, I'm grieving. I'm not crazy, I'm grieving. Let's talk about it. My grief can sometimes make me feel like I'm losing it. I can be so forgetful, mixed up, emotional, tearful, and not myself. I feel like I'm going crazy. Is that anybody's testimony in here today? That sometimes you feel like you're going crazy, that your grief makes you feel like you are absolutely positively losing it. I think it was DMX that said, y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. Up in here. Sometimes grief makes you feel like you about to lose your mind. Sometimes grief makes you feel like you are going crazy. Sometimes mourning, when you start dealing with the loss, change, and transition and all of the elements that come along with that, everything that comes with that, y'all, you can feel some type of way. You don't know whether you're coming, you're going. Your mind is racing a million miles an hour. You're trying to reconcile and catch up with your reality from what you had in mind versus your reality and what it really is. And you try to process all of this. It's like a machine being overworked. It's like a tool being overused. It's like something being overexerted to where it just shuts down because you're processing faster than your body can keep up. Sometimes that's the way grief is. You're processing so fast. The loss, the change, the transition, the future, the present, the past. I should have did this. I should have did that. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to take out the trash. I got to get the bread. Who gonna do the car? But the food? I got to do this. I got to do that. What about the future? What about? Am I gonna be by myself? How am I deal with that? How am I pay that bill? How am I do that? They had this. I don't know the passwords to none of the accounts. Well, he had paid this or she paid that, and I don't know how I'm gonna do this, and I don't know how to cook, and she died, and so what am I gonna do? How am I gonna eat? Your mind is going 1,000 miles an hour, right? And it feels like you are going to go crazy. I'm losing it. I'm forgetful, mixed up, emotional, tearful, not myself. I feel like I'm going crazy, but I'm not going crazy. I'm grieving. I want to help you out. You're not going crazy. I just want you to know you're simply grieving. You're not going crazy. You are simply grieving. You're navigating through this process, right? That's a part of grief. It's natural, it's normal, and it's necessary. You're not going crazy, beloved. You are grieving. You're feeling, giving yourself permission to feel everything that you feel. All of the emotions, your feelings are valid. All of your emotions, right? The joy, the pain, the sunshine and rain, the sadness, the anger, the resentment, the you upset, the rage, the depression, all of this stuff you are feeling. Give yourself permission to feel. Loss and grief are such disruptive life experiences that they can create a lot of normal chaos in both my internal and external realities. It is a disruptive life experience. Your whole life has been disrupted. You physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, your whole life has been disrupted. It has come in, it has caught you off guard, taken you by storm, thrown you off. Your whole life has been disrupted by this thing we call grief, right? It's been disruptive. They create a lot of normal chaos in both internal and external realities. I'm naturally experience a period of chaos, likely for months. Owl, that's supposed to be owl. I'll naturally experience a period of chaos, likely for months before things begin to settle down again. I'm not going to say everything is going to be all right in a few months, but you're going to experience this chaos, right? It's kind of like when you hit your funny bone, your elbow or something, and it just goes through your whole body, and you like, right? Or you stub your toe on the bed, or you hit your toe on something, and that pain comes, and it's there, and it lingers for a little while, but then it starts to dissipate, right? Man, it's something like that, right? That initial shock, the initial hit, you're about to feel this, and you about to feel this for a minute. So you stub your toe and you feel it, and you sit down and you feel it, 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 and eventually it starts to subside. You may walk with a limp a little bit afterwards, right? But that's the way grief is. Bam, we get hit with this loss, change, and transition. And for weeks or months, we feel it, we feel it. And I'm talking about the intensity of it, right? Now, it just because it dissipates doesn't mean that it's still not there, because it's still there. But that initial bam, that initial hit, that initial intensity of it, ooh, is there. I got a good example. I cut my finger. This was a couple of weeks ago. You can't see it. I cut my finger. I'm trying to put it up and you can see, you can't see. I cut my finger. A food processor, y'all, chopping some vegetables. And when I tell you, I thought it was just like an initial cut. Now it took like a little chunk out. And it was bleeding. I kept wrapping it up in paper towel, and the paper towel it was soaked in blood. And I went through about, it was just one of them half sheets of paper towel. I wrap it up. And I promise you, I went through like 7, 8, 9 of them. I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital get some stitches. I went through about 7, 8, 9 of them, and then I ran under cold water, and eventually it started to subside. Right, the pain, and it still bled. And I had to keep it wrap up, and I had to put band-aids on. I had to put on gloves as I continue my food, because the food has still had to prep. Right, um, but eventually over time, and now, my wife asked me about it earlier yesterday. She wanted to look at it, and it's here. I ain't even thought about it no more. I got a scar. I got a scar, but I don't feel no pain. It's healed, right? And that's the same thing we go through. That initially we bleed, we hurt. The pain is intense. We got to go through all of this, rapping, this, that, and the other, crying, pain, this, that, and the other. But as time progresses, when you do the work of mourning, you will still start to see healing. When you do the work of mourning, you'll start to see healing, right? And it gets to the point to where, I mean, you heal, right? You so much better now. And there's a scar. There's always gonna be a scar. There's gonna be there. It's gonna be something to remind you that this thing happened, right? But in time, you get better. That's what I need you to know and understand on today. Here's the final thought, y'all. There are times in life that disorientation precedes reorientation. There are times in life that disorientation, right? This grief, this loss, this change, this transition, it will proceed reorientation. My brothers and sisters, today is day 168. I hope we got this thing straight. I'm not crazy. I'm grieving. I hope this lesson helps you to understand. I hope it brings clarity to you. I hope you get a better understanding of the fact that, my brothers and sisters, you're not crazy. You're simply grieving. It's Pastor Duncan. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. I'm praying for y'all as y'all navigate through this Father's Day season. Remember, you're not crazy. You're simply grieving.